Alrighty. Alrighty. Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today for our virtual open enrollment seminar. At this time, we will go over Kaiser Permanente benefits for plan year 2025. Before we get started, I would like to brief everyone on a couple of housekeeping items. All attendees are muted and will remain muted throughout the presentation. And if you have a question, please type it in the chat box located on the right-hand side of the presentation screen. Be informed that if you type a question in that chat box, everyone attending the session will see your question and your name. So if you do have a question that is sensitive or confidential in nature, we recommend that you reach out to the County Benefits Division or your department's benefits ambassador. Lastly, today's webinar is being recorded and a copy will be posted on the Benefits Open Enrollment website. At this time, I will turn it over to our presenter, Myra Chavez.
Thank you very much. And before I begin, I just want to make sure you are able to hear me okay? I'll take that as a yes. So, again, my name is Mayra Chavez. I am your dedicated engagement specialist with Kaiser Permanente, and it's that time of year. It's open enrollment. So the goal of today's presentation is that you're able to, get the information that you need so that when you are making these decisions for the upcoming year, you have all the tools, all the information necessary to pick the right health plan for you and your family. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and change my slide. So at Kaiser Permanente, care is designed around our member. So you get high quality, individualized care, whether it be your preventative care, primary care to, treatments that involve more physicians and more complexity to it. So regardless of where you are in that journey, it's important for Kaiser Permanente to have our members at the center of it all, and our members have that, that access to care whenever necessary. So again, integrated care with the member in the middle. All right. So going back to that integrated care, with you being at the center, all of your services will be within Kaiser Permanente, right? So whether it be your primary care, specialty care, your pharmacy and labs, our telehealth features, as well as your plan, right? That's what makes Kaiser Permanente unique, is that we've been providing care and coverage for our members for over 75 years. And that personalized care shows, right? It makes a difference in our patient outcomes, and we'll be going into a little bit of that in the upcoming slides. Okay, so high level overview of some of the things that we'll be going over today, and what sets, Kaiser Permanente apart. Starting with the high quality personalized care. So preventative care is huge at Kaiser Permanente, and our providers make it a point that we want to catch things before they become into a bigger issue. So preventative care is key. And with that, your primary care doctor is going to be your biggest advocate for your health. So starting with that, we started off strong. Next, convenient access to care. So our members have access to 24/7 telehealth features with one of our very own Kaiser Permanente providers. And then in the case where maybe telehealth is not appropriate, we have same day, next day, and weekend appointments at most of our locations. And then third, we're going to be talking about support for overall health and well-being. So our Kaiser Permanente providers want our members to stay healthy beyond the doctor's office. And for that reason, we have many wellness resources, including self-care apps, member classes, different lifestyle programs, and additional resources to help you stay healthy. again, beyond the doctor's office. All right. So, like I mentioned, your primary care doctor is going to be your biggest advocate for your health. So, it's very important to be able to have that connection with your provider and really, feeling like, this is the right doctor for me. So our members are able to choose or change your doctor at any time, no questions asked. If you go onto your kp.org account and you go to the doctors tab, search doctors and locations, you're able to filter doctors that are accepting new patients in your area, and you can browse their profile. So on there it'll say, what languages they speak, what clinics they provide care, a little bio, right? So then you're able to elect them on there, assign them as your doctor, and schedule your first appointment. It's as easy as that. Later on I can go into a little demo if necessary, if anybody wants to see how to choose or change your doctor. Oh, and then just one quick note before I move on. These links and QR codes are active. So if we're ever on a slide, and the topic is of interest, you can scan it to take it to be able to take you to the website. You can also click on the link on the screen. All right. So now let's talk about telehealth um, features and how Kaiser Permanente makes it convenient to access care wherever you are. So care meets you where you are through our kp.org portal and our Kaiser Permanente app, both of which are very, sophisticated platforms. Our members are able to access all of their medical record, email your doctor's office, refill your prescriptions, schedule your appointments, look over your after visit summaries, even pay your bills and statements. So aside from all of that, our telehealth features are accessed through these portals. So, the Get Care Now feature, you would click on it and you get put on a virtual queue with a Kaiser Permanente physician. Now, these appointments are by phone or video, and it'll tell you, our Kaiser Permanente physician will give you a call in 15 minutes, for example. So, you're able to access that care through these platforms. So if there's any takeaway from this presentation, it's, if you're a KP member or if you're considering being a KP member, make sure that you're logged on to kp.org and you download the app onto your smart device. That way you're able to have care wherever you need it. It's so convenient to be able to have care at your fingertips. You're able to, you know, email your doctor's office with non-urgent questions, look over your lab results. So convenient. You can do so much with our platforms, and that kind of puts us aside as well. And when telehealth features are not appropriate, like I mentioned, at many of our Kaiser Permanente facilities, you're able to access same day, next day, and weekend appointments. It's as simple as calling, early in the morning, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., and asking for an appointment, seeing if there's anything available at your location for the same day, next day, and even weekend appointments, right? Um, you can also find different locations. If you go to kp.org under the same tab, find doctors and locations, you're able to see, any other location near you. Another thing that I really appreciate about the KP app and the kp.org portal is that you have estimated wait times for urgent cares, which is very, very useful when maybe you don't feel good and you don't want to be waiting in urgent care for a long time, right? You want to make sure you can get there and be seen as quick as possible. That feature comes in very handy.
Hi, Myra, we had a question come
Uh,
through regarding the video virtual appointments. Does that come with a copay?
So with the traditional HMO, it's at no cost. The high deductible plan will have a copay. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Absolutely. And then just another note on the telehealth features. So, because the phone and video appointments are provided by our very own Kaiser Permanente physicians, anything that is discussed or reviewed during these appointments is going to be logged into your medical record. So, we do not have a third party. Provider for these appointments. It's Kaiser Permanente physicians, so it gets logged into your medical record, which makes it very easy for if you need to follow up with your primary care doctor, it's already logged in there. There's no need to repeat any of the stories. The doctor will have, the information from the visit, which makes it easy for follow up in the future as well.
Okay. Myra, just a clarification question, and thank you for that information. Pertaining to the high deductible health plan and copays, I think the question is going back to the video virtual appointments for the high deductible health plan.
hmm
Do we know the copay for that? And I guess how would someone know what that cost would be? When would that be
Yeah.
determined?
So the copay will be the same copay as a primary care visit, and I have the benefits in the upcoming slides, so we can look at the copay breakdown if you'd like.
Excellent. Thank you.
Perfect. These are great questions. All right. For your prescription medications, you do have a few options. You're able to go the traditional route and refill in person. You can also refill most prescriptions on your kp.org account and the KP app, also over the phone, and you can have them scheduled for same day pickup for certain medications. Now, we do also have the mail order option for maintenance medication. So if you have, for example, a medication that you take on a daily basis, maybe it's cholesterol medication or high blood pressure medication, something that we take for maintenance on a daily basis, those prescriptions may be eligible for up to a 100-day supply, and you get it for only two copays. So you save money because you save a copay, and you also save time because it's delivered to your home. You don't have to make the drive to your pharmacy to go pick that up. So take advantage of that feature if you're not already. All right. And when you are away from home, our members do have the peace of mind that they are covered for emergency and urgent care anywhere in the world. Um, there's a few components to care away from home. So internationally, you're covered for urgent and emergency care. Now, there may not be a direct billing method with Kaiser Permanente if you're across borders or overseas, but you would save all your travel information. You would save maybe receipts for the services that you paid for urgent or emergency care. And then upon your return, you would file a reimbursement claim with Kaiser Permanente, and you would get reimbursed minus the copay or co-insurance that you would normally pay at a Kaiser Permanente facility for those services. Now, within the United States, our members do have a few more options. So, like I mentioned, our telehealth features are available nationwide for our members. So, those same, video phone appointment access you would have anywhere, regardless of whether it's a KP region or not here in the United States. Aside from urgent care, using the Cigna PPO network of providers. If you kp.org/travel, or maybe even click on the link on the screen or scan the QR code, you're able to find information on how to access care through those networks. And if you do access care through the Cigna PPO network, then you pay your same yourself and outside of your KP region, you have that predictability of cost. So it makes it easy for our members. Also, our um, members in a life or limb threatening emergency, you just get to the nearest emergency room, right? The claims will settle eventually. They'll settle themselves. So obviously, life or limb threatening emergency, you just get to the nearest emergency room. But if you do have that flexibility to be able to, you know, see where you should go, where it's a contracted provider, so that you have that ease of knowing how much you will be paying for care, then you can utilize that Cigna PPO network, which makes it easier for you in the long run.
Myra, we've had a couple
Yes,
of questions come through. Sorry to
absolutely.
interrupt. Okay. Question. I currently have a competitor insurance. If I am seen virtually, I get charged. And if the doctor sends me away to get seen in person, I pay again. Does Kaiser do that as well?
So I want to make sure I'm understanding the question correctly. So if the member is being seen by a primary care doctor and then gets seen elsewhere,
Just
like a
so
specialist?
okay. So to clarify more, they have like a virtual appointment, and then the doctor who they treated with or visited with virtually tells them now they need to go inside a facility. Are they charged for both?
Got it. I understand the question. So, yes, a telehealth appointment under the high deductible plan would have the copay, and then if seen in person, you would have that copay as well. Does that answer your question?
Does that apply to the HMO as well?
The
Or-
traditional HMO has no cost for the telehealth features.
But if they go on the premises of a Kaiser facility, they would then have a copay,
Yes,
correct?
that's
Okay.
correct.
Just,
Yes.
just adding my own additional questions to that. Okay. Another question, and keep them coming in. These are all great questions, everyone. On the KP.org app, can you order over the counter drugs like Advil or Tylenol or anything that's not prescribed?
I don't know. So it has to be a prescription order. So if you have that order from a provider, then you're able to order those medications on there. We do have over-the-counter medications at our location. So say you do go to the pharmacy to go, you order your medication online, but you order it for same-day pickup, then you would be able to obviously buy your over-the-counter. While you're there, but the ordering feature of it, like mail order, would be just for the maintenance medication.
Great. Thank you, Myra. Another question here regarding pharmacy. Can we use a pharmacy outside of KP? I currently have Kaiser and recently had a prescription that was a compound and had to get prepared, and the medicine was not readily available, so I had to wait several days before the compound could get made. Would this scenario allow me to go to a different pharmacy?
You know, that is a great question, and I don't want to assume or guess an answer. So I will, if it's okay, I can get back to Miss Nidra on that.
Yes, absolutely. And I'll take this employee's name. Great question. Another one. Do those with Kaiser get covered care anywhere in the world, regardless of their type of Kaiser plan? So I'm assuming this is if you have the high deductible or the HMO.
Yeah, great question. So, yes, all of our members are able to access emergency and urgent care, regardless of whether you are on the traditional or deductible plan. What's going to be different is your out-of-pocket cost. So, say you are traveling internationally, or even here, if within the United States, say you don't utilize the Cigna PPO network and you have to pay for more out of pocket, when you do file for a reimbursement, you will be reimbursed minus the regular copay or coinsurance that you would pay normally at a Kaiser Permanente facility. Does that answer the question?
Yes, thank you. All righty.
These are great questions.
Let's see, another one has come through. Let's see. Hello, I would like to know more about Kaiser's optical services. Can you state what is included? Does Kaiser interface with VSP?
Great question. So, with our plans, you do have optical or the vision exam. I like to correct that, not optical, rather just the vision exam. So, because that is preventative care, it does have that at a copay. Um, you could utilize your the optometry services at our Kaiser Permanente facility. You can have your exam there, although you will not be able to fill your prescription there. You could take, for example, like mentioned, VSP. You would take your prescription that Kaiser Permanente gives you, and you can fill it at a provider that your vision plan would cover it. Does that answer that question?
Sorry, it's on mute. Looks like it does. Yes. All right. Thank you. All righty.
Yeah. So again, no allowance for frames or lenses. It's just the convenience of being able to have your routine eye exam and it being logged into your medical record. That way, if in the future you need to refer back to it, it's already in your medical record. So it just makes it convenient, and then you would be able to fill those prescriptions elsewhere. Right. Now, a little bit about specialty care, particularly maternity care. There's a very special portion of kp.org, so kp.org/maternity care, where you're able to see all the resources that are available to our expecting members. On this special portion of kp.org, you're able to create like a personalized birth plan, um, see all the steps for what services are coming up in your maternity journey. You're able to see what support is beyond the prenatal care, so post birth, what resources, whether it be support groups, breastfeeding classes, things like that. So lots of resources for our expecting members. And now
Hi,
with
Myra.
oh
Sorry to
yes.
interrupt. A couple of more questions.
Hmm.
These two are pertaining to mental health.
Okay.
Uh, is mental health coverage with Kaiser? And if so, are members able to self-refer or do they have to get a referral from their primary care physician?
Great question. So, yes, mental health services, and was actually the next slide that I was about to get to. So, it's a great segue into this topic. Um, so, our mental health is a huge part of our overall health and well-being, and Kaiser Permanente members do access mental health resources or services through our medical system, so whether it be individual group therapy, um, psychology, psychiatry, counseling, all those services would be with Kaiser Permanente. Um, and they are covered at a copay. And we'll look at the copay breakdown um, in the upcoming slides. Now, Ms. Nidra, can you repeat the last part of the question? So the first part was if they were offered through Kaiser Permanente. Oh, if you need a referral, right?
Yes, correct.
Perfect. Yes. So, no, you do not need a referral for mental health services. You can self-refer. You can call the dedicated mental health line. So each region does have a dedicated mental health line. So you don't have to call like a general call center and then they transfer you over. San Diego County does have a dedicated mental health appointment line where when you are speaking to the representative, they will screen you, and then based on your answers, they will see, what services would be appropriate. So based on severity, they'll see what services would be the most appropriate. Any other questions about mental health that you can think of, Ms. Nidra, or that are coming up in the chat?
Uh, Nothing else regarding mental health, but we did have a question come through regarding surrogacies and whether or not Kaiser covers that and if there's an age limit if it's covered.
Great question. And for that, I would need to speak to like the account management um, team to look over the SBC to see exactly what services would be covered for that, if any.
Okay. Let me see if I can pull a copy of that up while you're proceeding forward with the presentation.
Perfect. Okay. So like I mentioned previously, in one of the very first slides, Kaiser Permanente wants our members to be healthy beyond the doctor's office, right? And so we do have lots of resources for our members to be able to take advantage of and maximize their health outcomes. We do have reduced gym memberships available for our members through the Active and Fit Direct program. Our wellness coaching by phone is also available. This is a really neat feature that our members have access to because you're able to work with a wellness coach, a Kaiser Permanente wellness coach, and work on goal setting and building healthy habits. For example, I used wellness coaching by phone so that I can get a little bit of help with finding the motivation to get active, right? Like I knew I needed to be healthier and work out a little bit more, but I just needed that push. And that's what I utilized the wellness coaching by phone for, to get that those steps going and really making realistic goals for myself, right? And the wellness coaching by phone is available for more than just getting active. That was what I used it for, but maybe we want to reduce our smoking. Maybe we want to sleep better. Maybe we want to manage our stress in healthier ways. That's what these wellness coaches are for. And again, they are Kaiser Permanente wellness coaches. We do also have different classes and programs available for our members, both online and in person.
All right, Myra, can I
Yes.
intercept? We had a couple questions come through
Yeah.
regarding mental health. Are appointments requested only by phone still, or is there an available option to book in person?
Yeah, so so first to answer your question, yes, you can do in-person or phone appointments. This is part of the questionnaire process. So once the representative sees what services are available or necessary based on severity, then they will offer the services that are appropriate.
Excellent. And now we have another question
Yes.
aside from mental health. This one is asking, are clients able to ask their PCP for a dose change for a medication via KP message or virtual appointments?
Yeah, so you can always message your doctor about medication questions, overall concerns. It may be as easy as that, emailing your provider, but every provider will be different. So if maybe, for example, you're asking for a dose change and your doctor wants to see you in person, then it might be necessary. But again, a good start is emailing your doctor and get that conversation going.
Thank you. And I just want to provide an update for the individual who inquired about in vitro. Unfortunately, it is not covered by our medical plan. I am going to copy and paste a link to our evidence of coverage binders so you can see that information for yourself as well. Okay.
These are great questions. All right, so now we'll be going over your plans. Okay, so here's a side by side of your two plans that are available for 2025. So, like mentioned, you have a traditional HMO and then an HSA qualified high deductible plan. So, here you can compare, but we'll be looking at the first one, the traditional HMO. So, with this one, you have no deductible and your maximum out-of-pocket cost will be at $1,500 for the individual and $3,000 for the family. Now, your maximum out-of-pocket cost is the most you will pay for covered medical services in a year. And say you do meet that maximum out-of-pocket cost, then your plan will cover you for the remainder of the year at 100% for covered medical services. So, for example, say you meet your maximum out-of-pocket cost, and then you have a specialty visit where instead of paying that $25 copay, you would be covered at 100%. You would no longer be paying those copays. So, I mean, with that, the traditional HMO is a little bit more straightforward in that it is copay only. Preventative care is covered at 100% with both plans. So that's going to be your yearly physical, well woman exams, and well baby exams. Those are covered at no charge. You do have a $25 copay for your doctor's office visits. Again, those telehealth and video visits are covered at no charge. And then, as well as your lab tests and radiology. Outpatient surgery also has a $25 copay, and then your hospitalization is $100 per admission. So, regardless if it's one night or 7 nights, it'll be that same $100 charge. Emergency care also has a $125 copay. I do like to highlight here the importance of knowing, urgent versus emergency care, because your urgent care will fall under that $25 copay versus the emergency care at $125. So there's a big difference in cost. Life or limb threatening emergencies, emergency is going to be obviously the most appropriate or necessary. But if maybe telehealth or urgent care might be more appropriate, I would really consider those avenues so that you do save money as well as time. The emergency room wait times may be longer than, say, urgent care. So just really use the appropriate service, which it'll make it more beneficial for you. Now, for your prescription medications, for up to a 30-day supply, you have a $10 copay for your generic medication, and then $25 copay for your brand name and specialty medication. And then for your generic and brand name medication, for up to a 100-day supply, this is that mail order option that I spoke about. You pay only two copays. But again, this is only for generic and brand name, not the specialty medication. All right. Any questions about the traditional HMO? This one's simple copay structure.
We do have a few questions that have come through, aside
Yeah.
from asking direct questions about the HMO plan. One of the questions, do the Kaiser doctors issue Nexus letters for patients who are military veterans?
Great question, and I do not have an answer for that right now. I would have to get back with that.
Okay.
Nexus, that's what it was?
Yes,
Yeah,
that's what
okay,
it's
okay,
asking. Yeah, this is what this individual is asking, and we'll
okay.
definitely find out. Okay. Next question, does Kaiser provide transportation to appointments?
That is a great question. Under the like regular group plans, I don't believe that is a benefit. Um, Under certain Medicare plans, I have seen it, but under our regular group plans, I do not believe that's a benefit.
Okay.
But I can get a official answer.
Okay, our next question. If you are seen in specialty care for an ongoing medical condition that you have had prior to your selection of this plan, is that considered preventative care or a doctor's visit?
If you're seeing a specialist, that's going to be a doctor's visit. Preventative
Excellent.
care is going to be nothing diagnostic. So just your routine. As soon as something becomes diagnostic, then that's when the copay comes around. So specifically with specialty visits, those always have the copay that we would have to pay. Preventative is merely the routine physical where catching things before they become an issue. The well woman exams, and then your well baby exam. So as long as it falls under those, like the yearly exams and the well baby exams, that's preventative. Anything else is going to be a doctor's office visit, follow-ups, things like that.
Okay. The next question I can answer, the individual is asking if the HSA qualified deductible HMO, if it's the same as the county's Kaiser HDHP. And I'm assuming based on the slide that you're showing, everything in the right side in orange, yes, that is the
Yes.
HMO high deductible health plan. Our next question, did it change for HDHP for doctor's visits? It was $25 before. Now it appears to be 10% coinsurance after plan deductible.
You know what? I believe the only change was the amount for the deductible, and that's an IRS mandate. I don't believe I can confirm with the account managers, but I don't believe that was a change.
Okay. The employee's name is Irene. I'll send you an email from the benefits inbox to let you know we'll follow up on this question on your behalf, okay? And let's see, our next question, does Kaiser HMO cover things like chiropractor or sports injury rehab, physical therapy?
Yeah, so um there's a few components to this. So, is chiropractic covered? So, right off the bat, no, there is no rider for like elective chiropractic services. Now, if you go to your doctor and your doctor sends a referral, that might be a different case. But as far as like, you want to just seek chiropractic services, you do get a discount through our Choose Healthy program. Our members are able to access chiropractic and acupuncture care at a discounted rate, but it's not part of the benefit, the core benefits.
Okay. Looks like we have another question. Let's see. Are there any kind of medical limitations due to policy that require a patient to be diagnosed all over again, regardless of medical history?
I don't have a specific answer for that only because I'm not too knowledgeable about the medical side and like diagnosing and re-diagnosing. Um, but if we can jot that question down as well, that would be very helpful, so that we can come back to it.
Okay, absolutely. Another question. Do you know if there are any updates to the sleep apnea travel machines policy with Kaiser?
I do
Um,
not.
okay, we can find out.
Yeah.
Right. All righty. So for those individuals, just to share an update for those questions we couldn't address during this session, I am sending an individual email to those individuals to let you know we are following up, and it is for my record to know what questions need to be addressed with you. So please be on the lookout for an email from the DHR benefits inbox. And it looks like, Myra, we are able to move on.
All right, so now we'll do an overview on the HSA qualified high deductible plan. So this plan does work a little bit different in that we have a deductible to meet, right? And it's $1,650 for the employee, and then 3,300 per individual in the family, as well as for the family. Now, your maximum out-of-pocket cost is set at 3,300 for the individual. Again, if you meet that amount, then your plan covers you at 100% for the remainder of the year for covered medical services. Now, if you notice again, preventative care is covered at 100%. So maybe you're someone that only goes to the doctor, once a year for your physical, and you get your labs done, and maybe you have, a maintenance medication, then that might be a great option, because you won't be, worried about meeting a coinsurance. So that's where you would see, what plan option would benefit you and your family the most. Now, where you will see is that the rest of the services do have a 10% coinsurance after your plan deductible, except telehealth. Telehealth will be at no charge after the plan deductible. So, say you do have, an emergency room visit, you will be responsible for 10% after we meet that $1,650 deductible. So if we meet that, then you'll be responsible for 10% up until you hit your out-of-pocket max of $3,300. Your prescription medications for up to a 30-day supply have a $10 copay after your plan deductible for your generic medication, and then $30 copay after your plan deductible for your brand name and specialty medication. And then for your mail order option of up to a 100-day supply, the 2-month copays for generic and brand name medication. I'll be going over some resources for this high deductible plan because, I mean, like you saw there, it is different when managing healthcare costs, right? So we do have different features on kp.org where our members are able to track their deductible. You can see where you are, how close you are to meeting your out-of-pocket maximum. Use our cost estimates tool so you can see, if I have an upcoming, appointment, maybe I want to see, the cost of this type of service. You're able to better prepare for those appointments. You can visit kp.org/deductible plans to access this feature. And this is using your information, like your kp.org. So it will give you your information about your deductible, just not general information about cost and estimates. Did I skip? Oh, no, we're good. All right. Now, if you are,
Um,
oh, yes.
Myra, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
A quick question regarding
Yes.
physical therapy. The individual is asking, how do we access things like physical therapy from Kaiser?
Yeah, so physical therapy would require a referral from your provider, from your primary care doctor. So, like any HMO, your primary care doctor is going to be the gatekeeper for your care, and they will manage any referrals as necessary. So, first step is, seeing your primary care doctor, discussing your concerns, and then they will manage any referrals. And then, I mean, the convenient thing is that all of your referrals would be within the Kaiser Permanente medical system. So there's no need to, um, you know, have appointments with different providers and having to take records or anything like that. It's all within our integrated health system. Any other questions?
I think we're good for now. Thank you, Myra.
All right. Okay, so for those that may be considering Kaiser Permanente, or maybe you are new to Kaiser Permanente, when you do choose Kaiser Permanente as the plan for you, you will be receiving a personalized onboarding. So you'll receive a welcome call as well as a member guide to help you get started with the transition process. You'll also be able to choose your doctor and transition your prescriptions over and schedule your first appointment. So making it easier to start your care at Kaiser Permanente. And if you do have additional questions, we do have a dedicated line where they're able to ask about or they're able to answer questions about Kaiser Permanente in general, plan questions, and there is a phone number here on the screen. They are available Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can also visit kp.org/choose KP to get additional new member information. And that's it. I'm going to leave it on this slide. So if anybody wants to click on that link or take down that phone number, if there's any questions at this time.
All righty, Myra, great presentation. And yes, we have a few more questions that have come through. Let's see. Our individual is asking, how does a person access a photo from a Kaiser surgery or appointment? And the reason they're asking is they had the surgery and got copies of documents, but wasn't able to get a copy of their X-rays.
Got it. So like medical records, accessing medical records. Um,
Yes, but
you
sounds
can,
like the X-rays or photos weren't
yeah,
included.
you can request those records on kp.org, or you can go to a medical office building as well.
Excellent, perfect. Are you aware if Kaiser offers county retirees a discount plan?
I think that would be a benefits question.
Well, to elaborate on hopefully answering the question, we do offer COBRA. You get your 18 months of federal regulated COBRA. I believe as you retire, though, you might be entitled to 36 months. But then when you jump off COBRA to a private plan with Kaiser, I don't believe there's a discount based on you being a former county employee. Let's see if there are more questions coming through. So far, we're good. I just like to remind everyone that this session is being recorded and a copy will be posted on the benefits open enrollment website. Takes about a couple of days for that to be accessible, but do be informed that you will have access to that later in the week. I'd like to share that in the chat, my colleague did paste a link to the county's COBRA information. It's very well summarized and descriptive about the process for COBRA. So for the person who asked about the any discounts for retirees, that might be some helpful information for you as well as anyone else. I know this was a lot of information to absorb, so if anyone thinks of anything after the fact, you can certainly reach out to the benefits division or your benefits ambassador. We're happy to answer any questions. Certainly a lot of information. All right, Myra, we've had a couple of questions come through the chat.
Hmm.
This is regarding next day appointments. Are those next day appointments available with a doctor or nurse practitioner?
Yeah, so it would be, I mean, I'm sure either would be an option. Usually it's with a doctor, and I'm sure that would be disclosed when setting the appointment.
Great. Another question. What about advance directives? Can we do that online?
Yes, there's I think there's a specific link for that, and I'll have to get that information, but there is a way that you would do it online.
Okay, excellent. If we can find advance directives while we're here. I'm researching the inquiry about advance directives. So if anyone has any more questions, do feel free to type it in the chat. Yeah, that might be a takeaway as well regarding the advance directive. I'm not able to find anything on the website. Um, in the
Yeah,
meantime,
I can get back on that. I have had a question similar before.
okay. For the individual who's asking, I'm going to type in the benefits email. So I don't see a last name for you. And that way you can send your inquiry to us to the benefits division if you can. That would be great. Uh, and someone's asking if we can get a copy of this presentation.
Yes, I can provide the copy. I can send it to you, Miss Nidra, and then you can disseminate.
Excellent. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, and we have some questions coming through regarding eye care. Can you talk about the eye care and if there is a copayment or any fees?
Yeah,
Um,
abs
Additionally, I want to get glasses. Is there a way to order online through KP?
So the first part of the question is about the vision coverage. So you do have your eye exam, and that's covered at a copay for the I believe the deductible plan does have to meet the deductible. You know what? I'm gonna stop sharing for a second because I want to give a correct answer before I just take more questions for follow-up. Um, so you would have your routine eye exam. So it's not like a contact lens um, exam. That's a different exam. So your regular eye exam is part of your coverage. The cost is going to be what will differentiate. So under the traditional plan, there is no charge, just like the preventative care. Okay, so no charge for the traditional HMO, and then with the deductible, I believe it's yes, the same. So it would be that 10% coinsurance, but plan deductible does not apply. So you would just pay a coinsurance for the routine eye exam with one of our optometrists. Now, you can order glasses. I think the web page is, I can drop it in the chat, kb.org. KP 2020. My copy paste feature isn't being, oh, there we go. There we go. So there you're able to access information on our Vision Essentials optical center, and you can look for appointments, exams, as well as your frames on here.
Excellent. Thank you for providing that information, Myra.
Absolutely.
Looks like no more questions have come through. We're going to hang tight for a few more minutes. We're happy to answer all questions for you, everyone. Thank you, Carly. My colleague was able to put something in the chat regarding eye exams.
I see a question in the chat. For the eye exam, it needs to be with Kaiser, or can it be at other optometry? So to utilize your Kaiser Permanente plan benefit for your routine eye exam, it would be at a Kaiser Permanente facility. So we do have certain locations with optometry services, and you would schedule with us to have that no charge. Now, if you have, for example, a standalone vision plan, then you can fill your prescription using your standalone vision plan with one of their contracted providers, or if you don't care to have your eye exam, in your medical record, then by all means you could schedule with your standalone vision plan.
And just to add to what Myra just shared, there are quite a few Kaiser facilities that have specialized vision centers, almost like a lens crafter, where they have a plethora of frames and equipment to do those higher level exams. So do keep that in mind if you truly want to use the Kaiser optical services.
And since Kaiser doesn't offer lens coverage, does Kaiser Optometry accept VSP for lens purchase? No, so that there wouldn't be coordination with that. So that's where you taking your prescription and filling it somewhere else would come into play. Um, you would have like a report, pretty much an after visit report, and you would be able to take that to an optometrist that does accept your VSP so that you could fill the prescription with lenses and frames, or you can also buy them at Kaiser Permanente, but you would not be able to utilize that benefit. And then the next question is, are PCPs allowed to write letters of medical necessity for FSA items such as gym memberships? That is a great question, Marissa, and I will have to um, get back on that.
Yeah.
And Selena just answered to that question. Yes, they can. Thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Just speaking from my own personal experience as a Kaiser member, where for years I've had my PCP write me a letter. So I know that they do it.
That's a great point. And again, that goes to, reinforcing the importance of having that good communication with your primary care doctor, and that your primary care doctor is your biggest advocate for your health. So really, explaining what your needs are, and then they'll be able to, help you navigate that.
Hey, Myra, we had a question come through. Does Kaiser offer a waiver if I'm unable to pay my copay at the time of service, such as like $100 emergency fee?
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can be asked to be billed at a later time, if that helps.
Well, I do want to go ahead and thank everyone again for making time to attend today's seminar. A lot of detailed information, great questions. We're still here to answer any other questions even after the fact, not just ourselves, but your benefits ambassadors. And I'd like to thank Myra for a great presentation as well. And we're gonna, oh, wait, I think I see a couple more questions. I was about to conclude, so sorry. Let's see. I just see some other clarification information coming through the chat. I don't want to cut anybody off by any means. I would like that clarification too regarding waivers for FSA. Okay, so that goes based on medical necessity verification for the FSA. And then we had another question. Is there a website where I may review Kaiser's policies? Yes, there is. I'm going to pull that right now and I'll paste it in the chat for you. We have what we call our benefits disclosures, summary of benefits, evidence of coverage binders. So let me pull that for you right now. And, all right. And okay, for the individual who asked for the policies, I pasted in the chat links to the summary of coverage. And the second one is the evidence of coverage, which is more lengthy and detailed, about over 100 pages. And it does have a search and find feature if you're looking for anything specific. It makes it easy for you instead of reading through the whole thing. Myra, maybe you can help us with this question. Is there a document with estimated cost for the high deductible plan before the coinsurance kicks in?
Yes, so there is a sheet. I can source that and I can send that over to you when I send the presentation, Miss Nidra.
Okay, excellent. Let me take your name down for the individual who asked that. Grace. Okay. Grace, I'm going to send you an email. It's my way of tracking to know I have some follow-up items with individuals. Okay, I see another individual would also like a copy of the document. Okay, Claudia, we gotcha. And Ivan. Quite a few people looks like that would like a copy of that breakdown for the high deductible health plan before the coinsurance kicks in, just a little summary of what the costs are,
Yeah, I think
anticipated cost.
very, very beneficial information to have for sure.
Myra, we had a question come in. What is the coinsurance? Is that something new? Can you go into a little bit more details about the significance of the coinsurance?
Absolutely. And so let me go back to the deck. That way we have a visual as well. Okay. So a coinsurance is the amount that the member is set to pay, or an individual is set to pay before or after you meet your deductible. So there's steps, right? First, we have to meet our deductible, which is that first amount, the 1,650. So this is the amount that we have to pay as we go with these services. Once we reach our deductible, then we will then have a 10% co-insurance, which we would be responsible for, we as the individual is responsible for 10% of the bill. That's going to vary depending on the services that you get. So a doctor's office visit versus a hospitalization, right? 10% of each of those costs is going to be different. So it is 10% for both of those services, but depending on the cost, there will be different um, responsibilities for that. Now, once you get to your maximum out-of-pocket cost of 3,300, this is your deductible, and then you would then have to meet your maximum out of pocket cost. Once you meet that, then your plan covers you at 100% the remainder of the year. And this is to protect you from any catastrophic medical emergencies. Say, let's not hope, but in the case that there is a $1 million claim, right? The most you will pay for covered medical services in that year will be that $3,300. So that is to protect the member. So again, first we meet our deductible, then we're responsible for 10% coinsurance, which is 10% of the billed amount for the service that you receive up until you hit your out-of-pocket maximum. Does that answer your question about the coinsurance? I gave a little bit more detail just to paint a more clear picture.
Yes, it looks like they're still asking, I have to pay a deductible plus the 10% coinsurance of the total bills charged.
So
Just clarification, sorry.
yeah, just to clarify that. Okay, so say we have, I'm going to give an example so that we can understand this portion a little bit better, because making a decision about health insurance is a big one. It's for the year, so we want to make sure we have the correct information, right? So say we go to the hospital, right? We have a $50,000 bill. Say we had to have a procedure for, you know, whatever reason. So we have our bill of $50,000, and this is just a random number just so that we can paint a picture about the amounts and how much we would be responsible for. So for emergency care or hospitalization, it's 10% coinsurance after the plan deductible, meaning I will first pay the first $1,650 towards my deductible. And this deductible contributes to your out-of-pocket maximum as well. So from your out-of-pocket maximum, if you've already paid towards your deductible, that 1650, you will need to meet an additional 1650 with that 10% coinsurance. So of, this giant bill, you're not going to pay that whole giant bill. You would pay 10%, but mind you, your out of pocket is at 3,300. That's your safety net. This comes into play a little bit more when it's like smaller visits where For example, say you have a follow-up visit, and it's a few $100s, then if the visit is $200 or whatever, you would be paying 10% of that, um, right? After your planned deductible. So
All right.
unlike the traditional HMO, where your traditional plan you have just a copay, it's not a percentage. Your high deductible plan has a percentage that you will pay for those services. So that's your 10% coinsurance. And it'll vary depending on the service that you receive.
Mhm. Thank you, Myra. The individual's asking for a copy of the presentation as well. So I am going to put in the chat the benefits email address for those of you who would like to request a copy. If you could please email the benefits division, and we'd be happy to provide a copy of the slide deck for you. We had another question come through. If I decide to switch from the high deductible to the HMO, what can I expect to change, if anything, besides my coverage costs? Will I need to change doctors or anything else?
Great question. So if you are simply changing from your deductible plan to the traditional plan, the changes are on the back end. So in like on the Kaiser Permanente end, because of the billing, on you, you do not have to worry about any changes. You still have access to the same network of providers, your same doctor. You don't have to worry about um, making any changes on that end. And Miss Nidra, I am going to be sending you an email right now with the PDF of the presentation and the sample fee list.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Just going through the questions here, make sure we didn't miss anybody. Oh, we're looking good so far. So if we missed anybody's questions, please feel free to retype it in the chat. I'd be remiss if we missed anyone's inquiry. If anyone logged in a little late, just to let you know, this has been recorded and a copy will be posted onto the benefits open enrollment website. There will also be another session with Kaiser if you'd like to attend and be interactive live at that time. So just know you have those resources to you even after today's session ends. Righty. Great questions coming through. We got another one, Myra. Does Kaiser offer meal plans through Kaiser to lose weight? I want to check kp.org, but do not know where to look or find this information.
Great question. So we are very fortunate here in San Diego County to have our Positive Choice Wellness Center. And I can drop the link for that in the chat. Just a second. So our Positive Choice Wellness Center has lots of resources on weight loss, meal replacement programs, um, different options for our members with regards to weight management. And I'll go ahead and drop that now. And you see that there will be different costs associated with those once you inquire about these services.
Great.
I see here. How about the Zim? Oh, gym, the gym pass. Yeah, so we do have a partnership with the Active and Fit Direct program where our members are able to access a gym membership at a $28 cost. But with this one membership, you're able to access over 10,000 gyms nationwide, and you can change your gym every month if you'd like. And I do have the link for that as well, activeandfitdirect.com. You can go on there, select your gym for the month, and then change it the next month if you'd like. What are the requirements to qualify? Is this for the gym membership? Both diet and gym. So for the Positive Choice wellness program, you would be able to call the orientation program, and you'd be able to see if you are eligible for the program. It is medically supervised, meaning you will have a provider. It's not just um, a program and you're self-navigating. It is guided by a physician, so you can contact the Positive Choice Wellness Center so that you can see what the eligibility criteria is for that. And then as far as the gym goes, all of our members have access to um, the Active and Fit Direct program.
A lot of great perks for Kaiser members, a lot of great enhancements and ad hocs. Myra, what is that cost for the monthly cost for the gym? Someone's
It is
asking $28.
Yes, it is $28. And if we click on the link, it'll take you to the Active and Fit Direct page. You'll see it is a $28 charge. You can plug in your zip code there to see the participating gyms in your area. So it's a very neat feature. A lot nowadays, a single membership at any gym is going to be more than the cost that Active and Fit Direct has. So it's a very convenient feature for our members. Is there a cost for a positive choice wellness program? Yes. So some services are offered at a cost, some are free of cost. So it would just be, calling and seeing what services you'd be interested in, so that they can better guide you on any costs. And is there a list of all the perks? Yeah, I did not know half of this information. I would love a printout and review. So I will be providing or I have already sent the email. So Ms. Nidra will disseminate as appropriate the PowerPoint, which has this information as well as the sample fee list. And then I can also send a follow-up email on any additional wellness resources, Ms. Nidra, so you can do with those as you see fit.
Excellent. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
For the individual asking for a phone number, I am going to put the benefits division main line in the chat. Just a second. Sure, I get the number here. Okay, does Kaiser cover the derma care and how much to pay out of pocket? And it sounds like derma care, yes. Myra, are you aware of any coverages for derma care?
I am not familiar with dermacare, um, but again, this is something that I can come back to get specifics.
Righty. Raven, I'm going to send you an email as well to let you know we are going to look more into your question. My contact information is in the signature line as well. Well, it's certainly been a very informative afternoon. Thank you so much, Myra.
Absolutely. We had so many questions, and I apologize for not having all of the answers, but I just want to make sure that we get the correct answer. So that's why I'm opting to follow up with the correct answers.
Yes, we certainly do appreciate it. Let's see. Does Kaiser have a partnership with Noom?
No. So, do you, is that a platform, an app? It's a weight loss app. No, we do not have a partnership with Noom. We do have wellness platforms that we do have partnerships with, but that'll be the Calm app. Our members have free access to the Calm app. We also have Headspace Care. Those two support mental health. And then for like our physical health and actually our mental health as well. Working out improves our mental health as well. We have ClassPass, which is an online fitness portal that our members have access to at no cost, where you can view over 4,000 fitness videos. Um, some are using equipment, some without equipment. So there's something for everybody. There's dance class on there, boxing, yoga, lots of different types of classes. And then we also have the discounted gym membership through Active and Fit Direct.
Right. I believe this just about concludes the seminar. I again would like to thank everyone for joining us, and thanks again, Myra. And I hope everyone has a great rest of the day.
Thank you so much for all of your time.